Do we have the burst duration anywhere? Yeah, it lasts 20 seconds. That's crazy. I really wonder. It probably doesn't snapshot. Honestly, chat, this passive, it's not here. Of course it's not here. This passive, right, that says that his burst damage is increased by 50% of his attack up to 1,000, right? That means that attack past 2,000 is a bit less useful, which to me kind of hints at him not snapshotting. Because with Bennett, you get so much attack. The craziest part to me is 33 energy restoration when he enters a state. Yeah, that's kind of insane. That means his ER requirements are going to be nothing. Imagine if it's not 33 flat energy and it's just 11 pyro particles instead. Wouldn't that be sick? Oh, do you have to complete quests for these characters to get buffs on them? Oh my, that's so funny. Anyways, chat, time for the preliminary Durin calc. The very first one we'll do is gonna be... I want to get a baseline for, like, the amount of damage he's doing. I haven't fucking looked at that at all. Most of his damage is burst damage, but he can't use that sword. So what would he go? Could go Wolf Fang. It works. Why not Lion's Roar? I don't know how good the uptime is gonna be on Lion's Roar. I guess we could do Lion's Roar, though. Let's do Lion's Roar. Lion's Roar. More like Dragon's Roar. Am I right? TDDS on Mona? Yeah, that's what we're going to be doing. Since we're on fielding Mona, we can afford to go TDDS on her. Is it single target mode? Yeah, I'm going to be looking at single target mode first. Fischl only buffs the on-fielder? That's true. Oh, that's cooked. Maybe the Fischl is not the play then. So who do we use instead? Just Albedo? Fuck it. Sure. Why not? We lose Lion's Roar. We'll look at Moonweavers for now. Durin on Crimson Witch? Yeah, right now he is. Okay, the question is, what set do we go on Albedo, right? Right now, I don't have any set bonus on him. I don't really like going Petra in general. Instructor, I don't think you can go Instructor because you need to burst every rotation, and I don't think you can get that energy while also having all the defense to max out his passive. His new passive scales with his defense. TOM? Yeah, I guess it's TOM. We already had TOM actually. Okay, yeah, that's fine. This is a team where you're not really getting much damage from the rest of the team, so it's probably around a 95k for carry Durin. I think that makes sense because I don't think his carry playstyle is intended to be the biggest one. 84k off-fielder is insane. I mean, this is not a normal off-fielder. This is off-fielder that's actually being treated as an on-fielder because you're on-fielding Mona just so you can make her work in the team. Oh, actually, I forgot to add the, like, additional reaction buff that Mona gives. Nice little 5k more DPS. What if we just hope and pray that Durin snapshots? Let's hope and pray that Durin snapshots and see how that goes. Even if it doesn't, what you could do is, like, auto on Citlali, then swap to Durin to catch the buff, and then swap back to Citlali to auto, then back to Durin to catch the buff, and you just keep... So if he snapshots, that's pretty good, but he probably doesn't, right? Like, realistically, there's no way he snapshots. Now we can take a look at the stuff I actually expect to be good. The problem with this one is you don't have access to a good shredder because you need a Hexen Circle, and Sucrose is going to struggle to get the Pyro Swirl. If he just didn't have the Hexen Circle buff here, that 112 would become 98. He loses, like, basically 15% of his DPS just from not having the Hexen Circle buff. But maybe his front-loaded app allows you to get a Pyro Swirl in a way that isn't too difficult. Right, he does have a bunch of hits at the start. We just don't know if it's ICD or not. I feel like it's very possible that the skill doesn't have ICD here. Like the 3-hit skill just applies Pyro 3 times. Because I feel like otherwise it doesn't make sense for it to be 3-hit. Yeah, or it could be 2U. Well, let's just specify Durin if you can swirl here with Sucrose. So in a team like this, his personal DPS is at around 60k. Is Durin just bad? It is not looking like Durin is bad right now, no. Let's just say another patch, another Nevilet buff. Okay, Nevilet, 14,695. Proto Amber, fuck it. I'm not bothering with things. Arena, probably just go Festering for this shit. Golden Troop. No, but this shit's just gonna suck ass. Nah, it's not gonna suck ass, actually. It's gonna be okay. Okay, I want to look at Versa. There's no Hexen Circle. Yeah, that's the problem. But I guess for that, I need to first take a look at the just raw damage of his support mode. So, I mean, it's gonna be a lot lower. In these teams, he probably does not go for a damage. He probably just goes Noblesse, not Crimson Witch. And what weapon do we use? We can use Finale now. Let's just use Finale. It's pretty straightforward. On an 18-second rotation, DPS would be at around 20k. And if he snapshots, he gains like 10k DPS in this team if he snapshots. A little bit more. Isn't that worse than Channeling? It's pretty similar, but he provides Shred. And his cooldown doesn't lock you to 20-second rotations the same way Channeling does. He leaves us with about 82k DPS from her. That makes sense. The remaining shit with the Iansan and Sucrose is gonna be another like a little bit less than 10k. You're gonna be at around 110k, which is pretty similar to non-combo optimized Mavuika. It's better than channeling and stuff like that. But also, one of the nice things about this is for people like me that have really good Varesa builds and really shit Mavuika builds, this concentrates the damage of the team into Varesa a lot more. So it's actually pretty good for me. What about Mavuika, Fischl, Iansan, Durin? Durin won't be better than Chevlers. You're playing an overload team without Chevlers, you're running it down. Don't do that. So he isn't best in slot for anyone right now? I don't know. There's a lot of stuff that's still up in the air, right? Does he snapshot? What's his ICD like? What's his application like on like his setup and shit? Is Mavuika or Durin better for Varesa? Varesa's personal damage seems higher with Durin, but team DPS is higher with Mavuika. I really don't know what sort of teams you should be trying to do for the carry modes. Like, what if you do like really straightforward Durin on field, Bennett, Sucrose, Yelan or some shit? Like real straightforward. Yelan bad app. I think it'll be enough. His weapon buffs him after burst hits. Is that true? It is true. Okay, yeah, he clearly doesn't snapshot. GG. I think you go Instructor Bennett, Noblesse Yelan. I guess we'll go Moonweaver here. This personal DPS here, just from the burst, would be around 70 something K. You add in the normal attacks, it'll go up, but it won't even go up that much. That's the thing. Because his normal attacks suck ass. It's gonna be hard to justify playing him with Bennett, I think. If you get overload with on-field Dirt, that's gonna be dog. Do Mualani, that's gonna be dog shit. Don't do that. Why doesn't he work with Mualani? He doesn't shred Hydro Res, and Mualani doesn't apply enough Hydro to vape Dirt and stuff. It's gonna be really bad. Burgeon could work, right? Because he can shred Dendro Res, but you have to end up triggering burning. So you can't get like really fast Hydro. But you still want fast Hydro. Your uptime is gonna be really sus though. That's the problem. It kind of has to be an on-field Lauma thing if you want to play him with Burgeon. The fact he refunds his own energy is so good for Burgeon though, because you can just build him full EM, no problem. Like, let's look at like Durin, Lauma, Pingto, Yelan. I guess most people won't be able to get away without any form of healing in these teams, so maybe you can't really look at this. There's no Hexen Circle healer, man. That's tragic. You could go Albedo. The Crystallize are kind of gonna be enough. We could go Proto Ember Sucrose. Actually, on-field Sucrose is gonna have good Burgeon triggers, because when you swirl the Burning Aura, you make it so that Singso's Hydro app can trigger both Vape and Burgeon. Could also Proto Ember Lauma and do Fischl instead. This isn't that good. Yeah. I mean, you do have like probably another 25k from the rest of the team, but it's gonna be behind Hyper Bloom. Yeah, I really don't know. My thoughts are not settling on him at all. I'm not sure if he's dog shit or broken. Is he an upgrade for Wriothesley Rev Melt? You should never be playing him in a Rev Melt team. He does nothing for crowd characters, but crowd characters do something for him. If you're playing him in a melt team, it's gonna be a forward melt team where he's melting, not the other way around. What about Flynn's, Inefa, Ino, Durin? Yeah, that might be good actually. No Hexen Circle buff? Yeah, I know. I still think it's probably pretty decent. Is that enough Hydro? Yeah, could be. Because as long as your Electro app is faster than your Pyro app on a team that has all-field Pyro, it doesn't really matter how fast or slow your Hydro is. I guess we can calc that, sure. I need to figure out what the fuck I want to calc, man. I really don't know. There's so many things, man. There's a lot of people that want to know about Kinich, so we can do Kinich. What set would you even use on Durin here? Deepwood, I suppose. Serpent Spine. What weapon do we give him in this team? Lion's Roar? I guess that works, yeah. That's probably better than Moonweaver. So she's doing, yeah, that's pretty ass. Next one I wanted to check was Lyney. Lyney actually could be good. Like, I could see it. I could see Lyney being good. So Lyney, Tavares, Durin, Fischl. Right? Because with Lyney, you can actually slot in a Hexen Circle character, and it doesn't feel awful. No IR? Well, yeah, that's just fucking Lyney, right? She's at 100k without IR and at like 3k with IR. Like, that's just a fucking, that's how Lyney is, okay? Like, it is what it is. Just accept it. Take the L. Move on. What is IR? Interruption resistance. What weapon do we give him? Blazing Sun? We can use Blazing Sun. Sure. Noblesse on someone. Durin doesn't have a good set, though. That's the problem. So we might as well put him on Noblesse and Chevreuse on Song of Days Past. Okay, then Durin's stuff. What weapon do we go here? We said we go Noblesse. Oh, we can just go Lion's Roar for now, whatever. His personal damage here is about 15k. Fischl, I just can't bother, man. Let's look at how much damage Fischl is doing on one of these. 20k. Oh yeah, that's with the snapshot of Bennett buff. That's true. But like, 15k. I mean, this looks pretty solid. Yeah, looks acceptable. Around 90k. A little bit more than that. There's also Chevy. I don't know, man. I actually think that the support mode Durin kind of sucks. His damage is just really pathetic. So pretty much all he's providing is shred, and it's not even that much shred. It's up to 35 shred, which is all right, but yeah. But his carry mode does seem pretty good. But also the support role. The reason why the support role sucks is because his numbers are complete dog shit, but that doesn't matter in Burgeon. So I actually think he's gonna be pretty solid in Burgeon teams. Like straight up actually pretty good. Like we looked at this one earlier, but I think where it'll really shine is gonna be, it might just be with Neuvillette Burgeon, honestly. Okay, there is a very real possibility that his best team on the support mode is Neuvillette Burgeon, and his best team on the carry mode is Neuvillette Reverse Vape. How does that make you feel, chat? How do you feel about that? Sick to my stomach. Let's do like an actual Neuvillette team. So we go Sac Jade R1. If we get 31 instead, but we get one of them vaped, right? Our total damage goes up by about 40k. So about 40k if you vape a charge attack. If you vape the burst, it's about 100k more damage. If you vape a skill, it's around 60k more damage, right? So a useful Hydro app, or if it vapes Neuvillette's charge attack, it's around 40k. Neuvillette E, it's around 60k. And Neuvillette Q, it's around 100k, right? Then we can look at the same thing for Furina. And then if we take a look at the amount of damage you gain on a vape on her. So if you vape the smallest one, the Cheval Marin, you only gain about 13k. If you vape the Usher, you gain about 25k. And if you vape Cabaletta, it's 35k. And the last thing that a Hydro app can do for you is it can trigger Bloom, which will lead to a Burgeon. So we gotta look at how much damage a Burgeon does now. So Durin, gonna be on EM weapon. So getting one Burgeon is about 50k damage. So here, right, you got the main things that you're gonna see is mostly Neuvillette charge attacks and Burgeons. And then the rest is gonna be mostly Furina. But what that means is that Furina average app is like a little bit below 30k, at around 25k. Neuvillette average app is at around 40 point something k, and a Burgeon is at around 50k, which means that the average amount of damage that you're gaining for each Hydro app that is not onto an enemy that's affected by Hydro is about 40k-ish average. And we don't actually need to know exactly how many of each we get. We just need to know how many Hydro apps are gonna happen and assume that it's about 40k per Hydro app. And I think if we assume 25 Hydro apps, we're being very conservative. It's probably more than that. We'll assume 28, and that's still probably pretty conservative. You're probably getting more than that in practice. But we're just gonna take a shortcut. Instead of figuring out where everything is, we're just gonna assume 28 Burgeons. Burgeons deal 50k, our average Hydro app is around 40k, so we're just gonna do times 40 divided by 50. So about 22 Burgeon equivalents. Honestly, it's probably more than that in practice. That's the thing, though. 28 is like, let's do 30. This makes a lot more sense, honestly. Anyways, Durin, actual numbers. Yeah. And that's in single target for a Burgeon team, by the way. For a Burgeon Neuvillette team. So it does definitely actually scale in AoE very well. Is it an upgrade? Slight upgrade over Hyperbloom, yeah. In AoE, it'll be a pretty big upgrade, though. Let's go back to this fucking Mona on-field team with the assumption that his burst hits every 1.2 seconds. That's pretty good, bro. Why is Albedo there? Albedo now gives 42 damage percent to Durin, and he gives EM. Like, he's actually pretty solid here. Reloaded instead of Albedo. I'm pretty sure it's worse. 119 instead of 111. Does Albedo have 8k DPS in this team? He's probably pretty close to that, yeah. Kazuha over Sucrose tech? I don't think you want to know. That can't be real. Oh, chat, I'm an idiot. It's not 130. I didn't remove VV. Yeah, okay. But it's basically the same with Yelan as with Sucrose, and Albedo damage will go up, so it's probably slightly better, and you get a healer. I guess you could go Furina instead of Albedo then. Is she even better, though? Like, if we go Furina, and it's just worse. Furina's gonna have a bit higher personal damage than Albedo, but it won't even be that big of a fucking difference, man. Durin doesn't get 15 from Resonance. Oh, is that only the active character? You're right. You're right. But it's still pretty similar. Another thing I wanted to look at was Furina instead of Mona, but I think Mona's just too good here. Oh boy. Slight difference, man. Holy is Mona actually good? Holy shit. Okay, let's like actually be like properly thorough with these things though. Instead of 18-second rotation, let's do 20-second rotations. So this is like actually what this would look like, probably. Mona C0 is 5k DPS loss. Right now I have Albedo on TOM, but you could have him on Petra, yeah. Mona's on Noblesse. Surely Furina does damage herself in the left team. Klugi. Klugi. Is this on-field Mona? Yeah, it is. Like, this goes over 100k for sure. Health Mona C4. It's about a 7k DPS upgrade. Already looked at it. What weapon was this? Oh yeah, this was the fucking fucking dog shit Dawn Weaver weapon, right? Because he doesn't really have a good 4-star. If we go Wolf Fang instead, R1 first, my 104 instead of 101. I guess it's not that big of an upgrade. And we address Mona Albedo out damaging Mavuika. This is not out damaging Mavuika, buddy. Let's take a step back for a second. Alright. I appreciate your enthusiasm, but I think you're being a bit too optimistic right now. Is Durin better than Mavuika for Kinich? Someone tell me how Durin's looking. He's looking complicated. He looks pretty solid, but I haven't found anything that's like truly meta breaking yet. Apparently it's once every 1.25 seconds, not 1.2. That'd be 16 hits total. I think I was assuming 16 already, yeah. Is forward melt with Wriothesley an option? You're gonna need double cryo if you want to do that, but I guess it is, yeah. And he's like 15k personal DPS behind, so then the question is, does Wriothesley do 15k? Actually, no! There's cryo resonance too. Okay, this probably is better then. Wriothesley can do 5k DPS in this team, right? Like, surely, at least, right? Probably. I hope, right? Compared to this. He should. Okay, to be fair though, you're not actually melting every hit here. You're probably melting like 13 of them. Yeah. And then this is 3. God, there's so many fucking stupid ass numbers, man. There's like 82k. Mona instead of Albedo, that doesn't work. You're not gonna freeze or actually wait. Oh no. Yeah, again, like against bosses, you just don't trigger freeze and you just lose your reactions and it feels like ass. Yeah, Albedo irreplaceable. Yelan instead of Albedo, that's a bad idea, right? I'll show you, right? This is with Albedo. We're 8k personal DPS behind with Yelan versus Albedo. That's without counting Albedo's damage. Albedo got damage. It's not a lot, but it's more than Yelan. Can you add Albedo and Wriothesley's damage? I'll do that tomorrow. Please check Mualani teams. No, I don't want to. There is no reason to play him in a Mualani team. He does nothing in a Mualani team. He doesn't shred and he doesn't react. Why are you playing him there? All he does is make it so that your rotations are now forced to be 2 seconds longer. Because Pyro's options suck from Mualani teams. He's worse than your alternative. So Durin is better than Mualani as a DPS. Yeah, I'd say that. I'd say that's reasonable. Yeah, I think that's pretty reasonable. I can accept that. I can accept that, yeah. Okay, what if on-field Citlali is enough and you get to go for something good instead of Wriothesley? But I guess there isn't that much that would actually be that good here because the crowd resonance is kind of doing a lot for you. With on-field Citlali, like quick swap bullshit is probably pretty decent. It's probably better than Wriothesley, yeah. Albedo can generate void rifts. Does cryo crystallize generate void rifts? Oh, I didn't know. Wait. Shit, you might be onto something, man. Wait a second. Huh, you're kind of cooking right now. Wait, that's, dude, wait. Oh, that's so funny. Wait, like, that's not even gonna be that bad. Wait a second. We're calcing this team as a whole, man. I need to know. Eshu, so 565. It's not as good as Skirk's actual teams, but it is better than Skirk's other non-Iskafia teams, I suppose. Let's add Albedo actual damage as well. Is that like 6k DPS? Take a look at it in these teams too. Or like in this one. Then these teams, personal DPS that are around 10k.
Deuce on the loose!
Yeah!
Deuce on the loose!
Deuce on the loose!